Hey guys, so this is going to be a walkthrough of module number 3. So read chapter 5, Evaluating Art, watch the lecture videos on chapter 5, which are below, and then take the quiz on chapter 5 by June 15th. And then complete the Evaluating Art assignment by Wednesday, June 15th, before 11:30 p.m. And then just remember to continue working on project number 1. You'll have to pick an option. The information for project number 1 is over here, due Sunday, June 19th, before 11:30 p.m. It's worth 15% of your grade, so don't put that off. PowerPoint, lecture videos, quiz. Here's the Evaluating Art assignment. I will read through this with you quickly here. So make sure you read the chapter 5 and watch the lecture videos before trying to complete the assignment. So you'll go through the book that we have for the Preble's art forms and find a work of art that you want to write about, and you're going to write 3 paragraphs total with around 6 sentences per paragraph. The more that you take your time and explain yourself and go into detail, probably the better grade that you're going to get. And if you're thorough, that's going to be helpful. Make sure the artwork you choose is not from chapter 3 or 4. Include the page number of the book that you found the artwork on, and then include an image of the artwork that you found in your document as well. That might mean having to look the artwork up on like Google Images and then just saving that image as a JPEG or PNG, and then inserting it into your text document, either Google Doc or Word document. So the first paragraph is going to be get the facts about the work. So pretty straightforward. Name the creator, title, date, subject, medium, size, location of the work. If it's a reproduction, maybe talk about that. So the second paragraph is a little bit more involved. You need to talk about the parts of the work and how they fit together. So a good place to start is just by describing the work in a general sense. Tell me what the subject matter is. Maybe explain the historical context of the work. Any of the artist's opinions about the work that you can find anyway. If not, that's okay if you don't include that. And then begin, the most important part of this is just listing all of the elements of art that you can identify in the artwork. And then, or the most identifiable, maybe like 2 or 3 at least. And then tell me how the artist is using those and why the artist is using those and how the artist is using the elements to create context or meaning in the work. And then next you would go through and tell me what principles of design are present in the artwork, or at least the most identifiable, at least 1 or 2, and kind of tell me how they're being used, why they're being used, why did the artist use them the way that they did, and are they using those elements and principles to convey specific ideas or create meaning in the artwork, basically. So definitely make sure you do that correctly. Try to answer the following questions. Why did the artist create this work? What does it mean? And then how does the artist convey meaning through the subject matter, elements, and principles of design used in the work? Evaluate, assess the quality or importance of the artwork in relation to an art criticism technique. So the 3 listed in the book, formal, contextual, expressive. So make sure you read the chapter before you do this. Remember to choose one technique, so one of these 3, and use that to write the entire 3rd paragraph. You need to make some sort of stance on the work and express some sort of opinion about the work, and then back it up with facts that support your theory or opinion on the art object. So maybe you'll say, I think this is an important piece of work for expressing the artist's particular feelings, which would be the expressive theory. Or you might say, I think that this is an important piece of work for representing a certain time period, which would be contextual. Or I think that this is an important piece of work in that the artist is using a really innovative technique that influenced others after them. That would be more the formal. So that would be like the opinion that you have about the piece. You just need to tell me why you think it's important, having to do with one of these 3 art criticism techniques or theories. So like I said, the formal theory is focused on whether a work is innovative. It has to do with the form of the artwork, so the way that it's made, the purely visual aspects or the techniques that the artist used. So maybe they're using a certain type of paint that was never used before, or they're using it in a different way that no one ever used it before, but after them, other artists started doing that. For the formal theory, you can write about how the form of this work was innovative for its times. You know, maybe the artist was using an entirely new technique or new material. With the contextual theory, you can write about why a work is important for reflecting a certain time period. So there's a lot of historical works that record historical things that happened, and so the contextual theory is a good one to go with for those types of work. The expressive theory is a good one to go with if you have a very expressive piece that is expressing the individual feelings or emotions of the artist. So it kind of depends on the piece that you pick, but you'll be choosing in that third paragraph one of these three options. And then submit me a PDF file or Word document for a grade by the due date. And that should be this week in a nutshell.